Hi, this is Dave Consumer. I just wanted to talk about a couple cool features that I just added. Um, so one thing is, I don't know if I talked about it, but now you can see like the waveform that is playing on each song track. It doesn't mean much except it's like an indicator of like what track's playing. I also added this one's a bit weird, but if you press start and then the directionals, you can mute toggle any track. So you have to get used to like which direction is which, but using that you can like live jam or whatever. If you set up a bunch of stuff in each track, you can mute out things and bring them in one at a time. Um, Another thing I just made was song generation. Now this one is not perfect, but the basic idea is like there's some algorithmic like Euclidean beats that you can set up, and that stuff is mostly okay. Like that basically corresponds to style. Um, but then the bass and the melody is pretty hit or miss. It might be like terrible. Um, so I'd recommend if you don't actually need bass or melody, I'd recommend just using the arrows and A to like choose the dash, so it doesn't generate anything. But let's imagine we have our drum on 0 and we have our bass on 1. Um, in general, I really like funk. I think it's pretty good for just about everything. So I've been using it a lot, but yeah, I mean, keep in mind this doesn't just like generate a perfect like funk song. It's more like I don't know. They're more like categories of the percentages that you see on the screen. So um, yeah, your mileage may vary. It's I don't know. You can make all kinds of music with any of the presets. It's not. It's easy to make industrial music with funk, or but vice versa. Okay, so here we've got a pattern, and you can see that they're all 0, and there's some ones. And if we had the melody set, it would have filled in whatever that was. Now, if we look at the bass line, you can see how dumb and simple it is. Um, Sometimes you can use the spacing to sort of figure out your own melody. And here's a place where like using scales can help a lot. So if you load like the Persian scale and you do like a bass line on the notes where there's bass notes, and then you do a melody that's also Persian and it's like much higher pitch, and maybe it's a totally different instrument. Maybe it's even the same instrument. They usually will sound pretty good together. So scales can be good for that, like kind of matching things. But the drum beats I think are pretty good, like the Euclidean stuff. It's not necessarily like a perfect funk beat. Here, let's play what it sounds like. So I need to add some instruments. So let's load. Yeah, you'll hear it's not perfect, but it is cool, and it sounds good. So you might be able to use it for something. Okay, so we have a basic general MIDI drum. Oh, here's another thing I've been playing with. So the idea of like 303, like I tend to use something kind of like a 303 in a lot of stuff. And so I wanted to do one that was like better, that has like the envelope built into how the note is, like the envelope for the frequency. Now you could probably build something with a I don't know. You could probably build something with like a ducker, or maybe even something with an LFO that kind of acted the same. But um, I just made like a full, um, you know, plug-in that's just ready to go that just does it. Partly because it's something that I kept using, and also because I think it's a good example. Like it shows like a good way to do that kind of thing. So this works kind of like an oscillator, like you have some different wave choices, and you can mess with things. Okay, so now we have instrument 0 is drums, and instrument 1 is our bass. So if we go here, now that sounds that sounds very like old industrial to me, not really funk at all. But we could, you could probably fix it. So if we, and that's another thing too. A lot of times the instrument is what gives the sound. Like I think here, because we're using such a distinctive like kind of bass thing, um, and we're using like kind of a cheesy drum. Those two things combined like give it more of like an old industrial feel. But yeah, your mileage may vary on those things. So let's do like envelope amount really high. Let's set the decay apart a little bit. Turn off the sustain. Okay, let's see what this sounds like. I feel like the drums are getting lost with the bass, but I do like the way the bass sounds, so I'm gonna add some distortion. Yeah, and that's getting a lot more like it sounds even more industrial than before. It was sort of a simplistic beat. So, yeah. So one thing you can do also is, if you generate, it's not always the same thing. It's not like loading a pre-made pattern or something. It's using Euclidean ratios. So if we've got like here's 4 patterns, right? If we go here and we gen and we say 1, or wait, sorry, say 0, 1, and then on this one let's do a melody. So we'll just put it on 1, and I'll use the same style, so the basic ratio is the same. So okay, so that gives us kind of an accent. And then if we go to pattern 2 and do the same thing, and let's not do melody, and let's do bass and drum. So these aren't they're not all the same. Wait, how many did I do? Yeah, let's do 3. Okay, so I'm gonna do all these. I'm gonna generate all the different patterns, and I'll do another melody here. Okay, so now if we let these play through, you hear they're not exactly the same pattern, but they do all go together, which I think is kind of nice. And that's another reason why using those scales to dial in the bass and melody, but kind of use what's there as like a pattern for like where to put things. It might help you. I don't know. The idea with the sound generation is not to make a perfect song just out of nothing. It's more to inspire you or get you started, or kind of fill in some of the details before you get started, so you you have something to work with. It's a little bit easier. So you can hear it changes. It's dynamic. It definitely sounds like an old industrial song, or yeah. So I don't know. Your mileage may vary. Let's try one that's not funk. Let's try like a totally different one and see how it sounds different. So if we go here and Yeah, we've got 19 different things. Some of these are very I disagree that they're the pattern that they say they are, like almost completely. Like speedcore definitely never makes speedcore as far as I can tell. But it is interesting. And they all need a name, so whether or not you agree that it's the type of music, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so here's speedcore. Very similar, but I mean, I guess all these beats kind of are. One thing you can do to vary things is, you can change the BPM. So if we move the BPM up to 200, it's probably a little too fast for the melody and the bass. So personally, because they're all set up on these tracks, I'd probably just get rid of those. So you can hit that. I forget what the buttons are, but the one that's above the delete, we'll do that. And then I'll do the opposite here. I don't know, just to put it back to 0. So now we have like a fast chord beat. For me personally, I don't really like. I don't really like setting up beats and bass and melody like this, like all in one. There's not really another good way to do it for generation, so it is tied to patterns. But if I was working on something, I would probably like not actually generate the bass or anything like that. I'd figure that out on my own, right? So if we have 5 and we have 6 here, I might make bass here. But yeah. Anyway, your mileage may vary. It's there's a lot going on here, but um, yeah, it's probably not going to be the right type, but but I still think it's useful. Okay, so anyway, have fun. I think that's it.